Hello, Aquarius. Welcome to your December 2019 tarot card reading. Thank you guys so much for being here. Sagittarius season is especially special for Aquarius because the sun gets to go through your natural house, right? It's the 11th house, Sagittarius. There's an illumination on your creativity, on your like super awesome Uranian, inventive, creative mind. And yet, with the Jupiter into Capricorn transit, I think we've all felt this really intense, sobering effect like the past week or so. And the fact that you came out, your energy specifically, Aquarius, came out as the Queen of Coins tells me that you are no exception. This is 12th house. Now you've got Jupiter in the 12th house, which tells me that you are going to, over the course of the next year, come into some pretty massive understandings of like who you really are, where you really came from, why you are the way you are, and who you're meant to be. The Queen of Coins is real stable. She has this way about her where like whatever she touches turns to gold. And I have a suspicion that you've been working very hard at whatever it is you've been trying to work hard at. Some of you, it's trying to find a relationship. Others of you, it's your job and your career. Others of you, it's your creative projects. And I think the fruits of your labor, if you haven't started seeing them yet, I would be surprised. But if you haven't, you will. Okay, so the Queen of Coins understands the essence of time. This is a Capricorn energy, right? She's got the goat on her throne here. She's very Capricorn in nature, and Capricorn is your 12th house. So it's a big part of you. Plus you share the Saturn rulership. So that's that excuse me, that Saturnian aspect of planting seeds and waiting for them to grow, that's coming online here. She can turn whatever she wants to gold, but she has to wait for that alchemical process to take place, right? She's hyper aware that she is living in a Saturnian reality, that she has to abide by like the laws of humanity, right? The laws of the body, the laws of gravity, well, technically they're not laws, but you know what I mean. But she understands all of that. So she understands that things take time and she's not afraid to wait. Now, what's so beautiful about your reading, guys, is that your environment, which I signify with a major arcana, came out as the Empress. To me, these are almost like the exact same card in a lot of ways. The Empress is the same thing, right? Full of abundance. I wouldn't be surprised if your creative essence is starting to like really spark on. You're like getting some cool ideas for that book, right? Or that new product line you want to launch on your store, or that new kind of place you want to go try out because maybe there's going to be some cool people and maybe you can meet someone, right? But I don't know what it is, but there's this like, let's kind of go out of the box so that maybe we can reap a greater reward. You're very out of the box with your Uranian essence. And I think the Empress is challenging the Saturn a little bit of like, how far can we take this? Because the Empress kind of, she wants the best of the best. She wants the most she can get, not in a egoic, selfish way, but because it's her divine right and it's kind of her way of experiencing this life. So here she is saying, all right, well, what really can we get? How far can we take this? How far can we push the limits here? Because I want not just like a regular wheat field, I want like a wheat mountain. Like I want a whole mountain full of wheat. I want a whole forest. I want a whole like ocean. I want it all. I want everything that's possible for me. Now, why am I taking it to such a large scale? I'm taking it to such a large scale because the very first card that came out was in fact the 10 of coins. Okay, so this is the first card in the 9-card block. The 10 of coins is that ultimate abundance. So, I mean, can we just like for 1 second take a breath and take a look at what's coming out here for you guys first? And I know that there are going to be some people out there who are going to get really agitated by this because they're like looking around their apartment or their house and they're like, it's not like the kind of house I want. They're looking at their wardrobe, like, these aren't the kind of clothes I want. I don't have a boyfriend. I don't have this. I don't have that. For those people who are kind of feeling that, or that's kind of their initial reaction, because here I am saying here's like everything, it's really, really important for you to check your attitude, right? Because the attitude is the creation mechanism. It's the vehicle through which we create, your attitude and your emotions. That's what alchemy is. That is what magic is. So when you pay attention to your emotions and you feel that abundance through the expression of gratitude, right? Let's keep it simple. That is how these things are able to make their way into your reality. Now, the 10 of coins can be anything you want. It can be money, sure, but it can also be that loving family situation that maybe you hope to create for yourself. It can be that corner office, with the big window, whatever. It can be whatever, however you define it. That's the beautiful thing about tarot, is you get to define what these things really mean. 10 of coins is a successful go. And that's what I think. I think that, Aquarius, you have experienced some success. Like, you're really starting to see things fall together. You've been working on breaking your patterns, you've been breaking your habits, and you're starting to be like, oh, wow, that stuff really works. Like, if you just change the way you do something, your life changes. Like, it's very simple, but also hard to do at the same time. And yet, here's the reward here. Very, very first card that came out. Now, the next card that comes out was interesting. My initial knee-jerk reaction was that this is you, okay? King of Swords reversed. This is a card of Aquarius after all. However, when I'm looking at that compared to this, like, I don't know how an energy where you're coming out like this can be shown in the same reading like this. So I'm wondering if this isn't someone else. Someone else who is similar to you in a lot of ways and might actually be representative of your shadow. The dark parts of you is manifesting in someone else. The King of Swords is very tough. He's very cold. His heart is very icy. It's very blocked. Could be male or female. I'm saying he because it's a king, but it could be either or. But the King of Swords is, when he's reversed, can be real brutal with his honesty, but sometimes there is a little bit of a manipulative twist to that brutal honesty. Some of you may be dealing with narcissistic individuals. Some of you may be dealing with emotionally abusive individuals. And that's truly, truly unfortunate. However, the good news is that I see an immunity coming out right next to it. I see immunity. With your arms crossed there, because for whatever, now I don't necessarily see that the King of Swords is really offering anything at this point. And I don't think really has anything to do with all this stuff. I think this stuff is all of your own doing. It's all of your own creation. It's all purposeful. And some of you may have like really awesome romantic partnerships, but there is just someone at work that is just like a nightmare, right? Or vice versa. But this is all of you, okay? This is your doing, and this is kind of the doing of someone else, this reversal here. The Four of Cups is, like I said, it's the immunity, feeling completely unaffected and completely untouched, which I've been saying all year, is that 2019 really is a year where we are becoming more and more untouchable as we all progress, going through the stuff that we've gone through the past 3 and 4 years. And this was a year where a lot of things started to make sense. And a lot of things started, like in the past where they had so much meaning, now they don't necessarily have so much meaning anymore. And I think a lot of us are getting a handle on that as we ascend with the collective, right? And now people's nonsense is just that. It's like their nonsense. And I don't see you getting your feelings hurt. I don't see you feeling sad. I don't see you feeling, especially like down about what someone else is saying or what someone else is doing, because you understand that it has no merit whatsoever. And I don't even know that this person is even really offering you anything, but if they were to offer, I see you being like, what are you doing, dude? Like, no, like, I don't want that. My arms crossed. I don't want that. I'm not interested in that. In fact, I think that this person's antics are really played out. They're just so tired, like it's boring at this point. Now, the next row of cards, first card that comes out is the Eight of Coins, which is directly underneath, which you'll see when I put the camera down, directly underneath the Ten of Coins, which is like, that's why I'm saying this is all your hard work. It's everything that you've always hoped to earn in your life coming here. I know you've been putting in the time. I know you've been traveling. I know you've been at the office. I know you've been in the books. I know you've been studying, right? I know you've been doing that. And it's just like, I think there's this drive of like, I want to keep going because the Queen of Coins, she's kind of a machine. You know, she looks all gentle and soft, but the Capricorn nature of this is just like cardinal for one, right? Cardinal, boom, 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 and focused, and has the kind of the energy to be at work all the time. When I say be at work, you can kind of fill in that meaning there, to be at work all the time, because she enjoys it. She's not going to be spending her time on something she doesn't like. That's something that's really cool about Aquarians, is like if they get bored with something, like they're just really honest about it and they just move on. A lot of people can be left feeling like forgotten or whatever, but that's you kind of really looking out for your best interest, right? That's kind of one of the benefits of being one of the latter signs in the zodiac, is that you kind of have that maturity of, I know what works for me, I know what doesn't, and I'm just going to move on if it doesn't work. You know, you don't have to understand it. That's not my problem. I'm just going to move on. So that's one wonderful thing that's really going for you. Okay, so at the very center of the reading, don't forget, this card came out for Capricorn too, so it makes sense that it came out for you, is the Nine of Swords, okay? And it's directly underneath the King of Swords. So while on one hand, you're not really having it, I also can't help but wonder if this guy or this girl, this very sword in the ground kind of person, very rigid and icy, it's not that they really get to you emotionally, but it's that they kind of get in your head. That's why I was saying that there might be some kind of manipulation going on, because they're making you really second guess yourself. Or maybe they're trying to make you feel badly about your Ten of Coins success, or maybe they're trying to guilt you into something. You know, it's of course completely up to you whether you choose to feel guilty or not, but I think this particular person has, you know, they have a hold on you in some way, shape, or form, and that's why the Nine of Swords. And somehow maybe they are the voice of your shadow. Like I said, I think this person represents your shadow and it's manifesting in someone else. It may just be like a single conversation that you have. It may be just kind of one little event that happens throughout the course of the month. I don't know what it is. But honestly, that's the time when you need to check yourself and be like, well, they're saying it because somewhere in here I'm thinking it. And it's thinking, right? You're an air sign after all. So swords is totally your vibe. It's all up here. So somewhere in here you're thinking it, which is why they were able to say it. Okay? And the sooner you recognize that that's just some kind of a limiting belief, that it's just simply the gap. And I think I had this conversation with you guys a few months ago, is that Aquarius was really feeling that burden and the tension of like, okay, here I am today, but here's where I want to be. And it's like looking into this dark abyss of this gap between here and there. And it was like all this whole big thing. And I'm wondering if that's not creeping in a little bit for you this month, just a little. I don't see this Nine of Swords, even though it's in the very center of the reading. I just simply don't see that it has a lot of weight because of these cards. This is like a battle of self right here, of like the deserving, I can do it, being your own cheerleader kind of deal, versus like, oh my God, I'm afraid I'm going to embarrass myself. I'm afraid I'm going to fail. I'm afraid I'm going to lose all my money, you know, whatever. This is just the fear manifesting itself in thought and through rationalization. If you find yourself trying to rationalize something or trying to justify something or trying to put things in realistic terms, that's probably like time for you to just say, okay, I'm doing this and I just need to just stop and like really, really focus, first of all, on how far I've come. Let's first put focus there, how far I've come and how much I have produced and how much I have earned. And knowing that if you continue, that fortune and that entire mountainside full of wheat and abundance can actually be yours. This is kind of when I think you're at this pivot point where most people give up, and that's why this voice is coming out, because it's like you have to prove to the universe that you are truly committed. You have to prove to the universe that you're going to push through. You have to push, that you are going to change your life. You are going to break this pattern. And you do that through action. Because we all know that we can think one thing like, oh my God, I don't want to go to the gym. But then you can still go to the gym. That's kind of what's happening, is your mind may be saying all the stuff that's going to keep you in bed, but if your body gets up and goes to the gym, then you're good. This is how you tell the universe how your life is going to be. This is how you step into the role of co-creation, okay? Now, what's interesting about this Nine of Swords too is that it's pointing to the Justice card. And I actually sat with this for a minute and I was like, why? Like, how is this, because justice is all about balance. It's about things coming back to you, because at one point, right, 8 of coins, at one point, you've put in the effort. And I think you're still here. You're very much in this state of mind. Like go, 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 Energizer Bunny, create, create, create. And yet, if you're not seeing the results, 9 of Swords, which is where people get stuck and that's where they give up. But if you keep going, that's when the Justice card comes out and says, hey, look, Aquarius, I got your back, because the law of nature says that what goes out, right, for every action, there has to be some kind of a reaction, meaning there will be some kind of results. Normally, those results are very linear and logical, like if you go to work, you earn money, right? Obviously, that's a very simple one to understand. But, if you're wanting a romantic situation and you've been putting work into that, rest assured, justice comes in and says, okay, well, if there's energy being placed in this bucket, then there has to be energy placed in this bucket. So it always is balancing out. So it has to come back. And this is just, you have to just have faith. I mean, actually, you don't have to have faith. Justice is going to operate whether you have faith or not. It's kind of like, do you believe in gravity or not? Okay, well, if you're going to jump off that cliff, you're going to fall, right? Gravity is going to operate no matter what. So that's kind of the essence of justice. So it's a good thing, because it's like more effort, more 10 of coins, more wheat, more money, more love, more passion, more family, more whatever. The King of Swords is just that voice yammering away that's just telling you that it's not possible. And that is the essence of our own internal devils. Okay, you're very well grounded. A lot of really grounded energy coming out. This is all the Capricorn stuff. Like I said, I think that when Jupiter entered Capricorn, we all felt this like, whoa, like it was really sobering. And we all felt that need, like if you want it, you gotta go work for it, you gotta go make it happen. You have a wonderful support network. I know you have a lot of friends, Aquarius, right? I know you have a lot of friends. I know you have a lot of people that love you, family members that love you, neighbors, community that, that will look after you. And now is a time to really celebrate that fact. I'm actually getting a strong vibe of celebration. And I know we just came out of Thanksgiving in the United States and we're all kind of moving into the holiday season at the end of December. And so now is a really good time. Like, just use it for what it is. Like, now is a really good time to start, just like reuniting and reigniting those wonderful connections that you have in your life, the ones that are truly dependable, the ones that will always be there for you, no matter how deep in the Nine of Swords state you get, right? These are the kinds of people that will always like smack you across the face and be like, shut up, like why are you running that dialogue through your mind. Just like, shut up. Just do the Eight of Coins thing. Just go to work because it's working. And the environment is such that if you do, it will pay off big time. Now, this card came out, another grounded energy. I think it's someone from your network because it's kind of emerging from the Four of Wands. Now, this could be someone new that kind of enters into your life in a business or romantic capacity, sure. But I kind of feel like it's someone that already exists, like a brother or a sister or a friend. And this person is likely an earth sign, okay? Likely Virgo or Capricorn, but could also be Taurus. I sense that the Knight of Coins has a modus operandi that really, really works for them, okay? Like they are maybe not the most ambitious people, but somehow they accomplish so much. Like they could be little Energizer bunnies. And in general, I think they're really satisfied with how their life is going. The reason why I'm saying all of that is because I feel that there's something to be adopted. Something from them that you can look at, that you can see the way they're doing it. And it's not a modification of personality, okay? It's more a modification of habits. And I feel like this person is a shining example of at least one kind of habit that can be adopted to really, really open yourself up. And I think it's just one small behavioral change. I don't necessarily know why I'm feeling that it has to do with habits and behavioral change. It's just that when the card came out, I was like, my immediate thing that happened here was be like the Knight of Coins, right? Be like the Knight of Coins, which is Virgo, okay? Small tasks, checking your email, answering your email, making sure you have, all the little loose ends tied up, dot the I's, cross the T's, all those things, because that is like the devil is in the details. And sometimes this occurs because we are trying to jump so far ahead that, and the overwhelming amount of small tasks that needs to be done can sometimes be too overwhelming. That's where this guy steps in, is like, great, give me all the little stuff and let me just sit down on my desk all day and just do it. And that's this guy, okay? So be like the Knight of Coins. The dust is clearing. I love this card. I love it when it's reversed because it's like wherever there has been a state of confusion, now we come into a state of clarity. The cloud starts to lift, the rain starts to dissipate, and eventually that sunshine is going to be just beaming through. And you're going to be really, really, really happy that you powered through this Nine of Swords. Because I'm not going to lie, in the very center of a reading, it can be like feel all consuming. Don't fool yourself into thinking that this is like the thing, because it's totally not the thing. It's just your shadow kind of creeping up. And it's your shadow doing you a huge disservice right now. Sometimes our shadow can be helpful because it kind of motivates us. I don't know that your shadow is going to be especially motivating, which is why, don't go to the gym, just stay in bed. It's so warm, it's so comfortable. That's your shadow, okay? That's kind of what the Nine of Swords is doing. So you have to exert a little bit of extra willpower here purposefully. Like do it even though you don't feel like it kind of stuff, okay? All right, let's go ahead and put the camera down. We'll pull out all the clarifiers for the comprehensive so you guys can see what comes out with that. All right, see you in a sec. Okay, Aquarius, so here you can see how the cards all came out. I'm going to clarify this Queen of Coins here with a couple of oracle cards, and then we'll finish clarifying all the rest of the cards with a tarot deck. So let's go ahead and see what comes out with this Psychic Tarot deck here for the Queen of Coins, which is really clarifying kind of where you are coming from and any advice that you need for your self-sacrifice. Okay, I love the rainbow in this card because it's kind of like almost like the way you sacrifice your time to go seeking the treasure at the end of the rainbow almost. It's worth it. It's worth it because there is a pot of gold at the other end of that, to sacrifice your time, to sacrifice your kind of like, in a way, I'm not going to say sacrifice your life because that's really extreme, but like to sacrifice the time with your friends, the fun things. I do think that Aquarius for the next year, it's going to be a lot of working energy. And I know you've been doing that already, but this is a time, Jupiter and Capricorn, for you to really start seeing the results. And it can propel you so far forward because Jupiter is such a philosophical, high-level teacher, you know, learning kind of planet. So it's like succeeding and learning is really what this next year is really going to be all about. But you do have to put in the time. Capricorn is going to force you to put in the time. And like, let's be honest, right? This is going to be for the next 2 years actually, because next year when Jupiter enters into Aquarius, all right, your sign, there's going to be additional stuff to learn. And it's going to be, you know, maybe some crazy stuff happens because of the Uranian rulership of Aquarius, but still Saturn's in there too. So there's still going to be a continuing education, let's call it that, right? Continuing education. So get ready, buckle down. It's time to really, really start cracking the whip on yourself. Okay, message in a bottle. See this as being something unexpected. Almost kind of like a synchronicity or something random. I don't know why I'm getting that feeling from it. It's something random, like something comes out of nowhere and it's almost as though the creator of the universe is speaking specifically to you in like really, really, really profound ways. It's likely something small. This could be very connected with the Nine of Swords. Like there's a reason why you need to go through this particular thing. Like this in and of itself is the message in a bottle. And that's why I think this is kind of out of nowhere. This may be shadow voice coming in. It is 12th house, you know, a lot of 12th house stuff for you guys. Venus, South Node, eclipses, we're making our way through eclipse season there. Jupiter, Saturn, Pluto. I mean, so like, it makes sense that there's all this kind of shadow work that's needing to be done. And this could be like really, really an important stepping stone in a much bigger picture that you just simply can't see yet. So don't feel like it's all for nothing, all right? Let's go ahead and clarify with 2 cards, the Queen of Coins at the top here. Okay. Now, for those of you who are new to my channel, the cards that I'm about to pull out to clarify all of these, I'm going to be talking about in the comprehensive reading. So you can access that link down below in the description box if you feel like continuing to watch with us. Okay. Ooh, an element of speed. I like that. Okay, beautiful. Now let's take a look at the Empress, clarify her with a few cards. Oh my God, what did I say? The pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, literally 2 rainbows. Can we talk about the rainbow as a symbol of a promise? You know, in the Bible, right? God placed the rainbow in the sky to promise he would never flood the ocean again, or flood the world again, I mean. Yeah, okay, so here you have 2 rainbows is like a symbol of a promise that you're never going to have to go back to the way it used to be. Oh my God, I just said the way it used to be and we get the card of like the past. Oh my God, how crazy is that? 6 of Cups reversed. Oh, another 4 of Cups. See, I do feel an emotionlessness from you guys. And I'm not saying you don't have emotions, but I'm saying you're not doing things based on emotion right now. Ooh, that's interesting. You're not doing things based on emotions. You're doing things based on what needs to be done. Like there's this element of not obligation. I think that's the wrong way to say it. Oh my gosh, we got 3 10s all at once. This one wanted to come out too. It's like a sense of duty and it's like a purpose. Like you genuinely have this mission. Okay, these are for the King of Swords. Let's say a whole bunch of 4 cards fell out. So, the King of Swords. Ooh. Okay, we'll talk about that guy. We'll talk about that King of Swords, whoever that is. Some of you, really, that message is like, it's time to walk away. If it's a lover, if it's a romantic situation, if it's a work situation especially, like it really might be time to just separate yourself from like toxicity and all of that. Some of you have maybe been a bit betrayed, you know, or sold a bill of goods, you know, like maybe you feel like you fell for something and you fell for their joke, like you were a victim of a practical joke almost. Now it's time for you to like really regain control, okay? Really get back into the driver's seat of your own situations. Love it. King of Wands with the, I think the King of Wands and the Queen of Coins, very much your energy. I feel like Aquarius is in, you know, on the search for something better, you know, that's just what, and I don't mean better like you're not grateful for where you are now. It's just that when it comes to other people, when it comes to the relationships that you have, when it comes to the results that you've been seeing, it's time for you to start getting more. It's not an accident that that horse is black and he's coming out of the blackness of the Tower card. Something's going to happen. Something in your social life. Ooh, darkness of the night. Something very mysterious about this Knight of Coins. I may change my tune on him a little bit as we get more into the reading. Oh, damn. That's legit right there. Okay. One more for that because I think it merits a longer conversation. Okay. And there he is again. Okay, this is where we're going to pick up in the comprehensive. So if you want to join, you are welcome. Link will be down in the description box. If not, then I will see you next month. Have a good one. Thanks, guys.